me now.
So Adam Norsworthy is known as the frontman, singer, guitarist, primary songwriter of the Mustangs, who've produced 11 albums over 20 years. He's also the guitarist and songwriter in the highly regarded Milkmen. Adam releases his fourth solo album, Infinite Hotel, on Friday, and it's a cracker. Adam, welcome to MetalTalk.
Very nice to be here. Thank you. Yeah, nice to meet you, Stevie.
Yeah, cool. I was driving back from Norwich a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of put the CD on in the car. Yes, an old Cherokee Jeep. Yeah, but the sound system's pretty cool. Yeah, and I was really blown away. I really enjoyed it. It's as an album, it's really strong. Do you think it's your best piece of work so far?
Ooh, well, that's a good question. Do you know what? I don't. I think it's. I don't really rank them, but I've made a couple of Mustangs albums that I think are really strong, and I've made a couple of Milkman albums I think are really strong, and I've made a couple of solo albums I think are really strong. So I think once you get to a level where you're really happy with an album, there's no point in ranking them because they all have a slightly different feel. I mean, I certainly think it's a better one than a lot of the others I've made. Yeah, but Rainbird was a really strong album, and you know, you go through different phases with your songwriting as well, so it's kind of unfair to sort of, you know, put them up against each other. And if I said it was, then the guys in the Mustangs and the Milkman would be on the phone to me anyway, going, "Well, what are you talking about? Don't talk nonsense." So, you know.
So Mrs. Ritchie loves it as well. So one of the things we did in lockdown too, was because we spent a lot of time in the kitchen with red wine and rosé wine. Nice. So I bought like one of these, you know, nice decent CD player. Yeah, I was going through the old CDs that I've had for years and years and years. Yeah, and Mrs. Ritchie's faith in some of the classic rock albums, is a bit disturbing, but she really loved it as well.
That's awesome. That's good. It sounds like she's got a good taste in music too. If she's into classic rock, so
cool.
Yeah, I mean, good company.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially if she's pouring wine. So songwriting, so it's clear. I was going back through some of your catalogue. Yeah, you've got the songwriting game nailed. But the thing that really struck me with the Infinite Hotel album, was I love the sprinkling of magic dust.
Yeah.
Over the songs, so it's like you know, you got it on the CD in the car, so you go from one to the end, so you know, opener Bridges to the Moon, just after the drums come in right at the start, you've got that kind of two notes on the piano,
yes,
so that immediately kind of piqued my ears.
I love that. I love that you spotted that. That's really nice.
And I love the way the guitars fit in the mix. So again, on Bridges, it's, if you've got headphones on, it's almost at the outside of the two ears. And then you've got the voice and the instruments, the rest of the instruments in the middle. Sorry for the long question. So production and kind of mixing. Do you think you've taken a different approach on this album to some that you may have done in the past?
Definitely. I mean, the first album was really kind of self-produced entirely. If we're talking specifically about the solo stuff, the first album was self-produced, and I played everything on that one. On the second album, I co-produced with Wayne Proctor, and that was the start really of Wayne and I. Do you know Wayne from King King? He's
right, yes.
You know, and he ex of King King. And he's like one of the go-to producers on the scene now. But he and I have had a fabulous working relationship for about 6 albums now, and we'd always talked about really opening the sound of my music up a bit, and getting some of our mates on who are just phenomenal players. So you know, you've got Bennett Holland, who plays with Lawrence Jones now on the album, and you've got Ollie Brown, you know, who funny enough plays bass on the album. You've got Wayne on drums, Rich Young, Amy Heggett, and you know, when you've got that kind of level of talent, you know, sprinkling fairy dust all over your songs, you know, it's just joy. So you get all these lovely little moments everywhere, and I remember the first playback when I heard everyone finally on all the tracks, you know, and I was just sitting there with my mouth, you know, on the floor, just going like, you know, this is incredible. You know, it's brilliant. It's a lovely thing to write a song and have people bring their time and talent to it with such care and consideration. You know, it's incredibly rewarding and gratifying.
Nice. So I mean, yeah, on the CD player in the kitchen, yeah, on the headphones, and even even coming out the speakers in my 2004 Jeep, you know, the quality of the sound and the depth of it, yeah, is so much more than you hear on YouTube, for example. Yeah. So you know,
well, yeah, I mean, that's all credit to Wayne. You know, I mean, I've produced albums and I have a studio and everything, but I'm nowhere near the level of producer that Wayne is. You know, and he's got so much experience and expertise, and he really wanted to open that sound up and just make it sound, you know, and it's one of those albums that sounds better the louder you listen to it as well. You know, you whack it up, and like you're right. You know, you put Bridges on, or Now I've Got Your Love, and hear that blasting out the speakers. You know, it's fantastic. I get off on it myself. You know, I wrote the song. You know, and I'm sort of, you know, bouncing around to it, going, should I be enjoying this much? But I'm enjoying it for the sound and the production as much as anything. You know, so
yeah,
that's all Wayne's fault.
It's a big difference, yeah. So I kind of got a little frustrated with YouTube, yeah, because when you hear Bridges on YouTube, yeah, it's all compressed and condensed, yeah, and it almost makes a different song when you listen to it on a decent set of speakers.
Absolutely. Well, we're going into Neil Young territory now, you know, and you know the sound quality of bit files and audio stuff on MP3s and everything. I mean, you know, it would be glorious if we could all listen to everything in some sort of enormous, you know, WAV file, or even on vinyl. You know, you know, on a great system would be fantastic. But the world's changing, and you know, we have to try and keep up.
Yeah, this is true. The single "Time I Will Forget You," yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Can you talk about the process of writing that?
Well, it's one of those songs, you know, the best songs come out really quickly. And you know, sometimes you're writing a song and you look down 5-10 minutes later and the whole song's there and you think, oh, did I just write that? And that was one of those really quick ones. And often the ones that come out the quickest, you know, when the floodgates are open or the antenna are up and you just, the ideas are flowing and coming in. And that was one of those songs. I think I had the idea for the I think the chorus just came to me as I was just playing around with some chords on the guitar, and they were so strong. I just thought, yeah, I'm going to focus now and write this. And like I say, literally 5-10 minutes later, the song was written. And the other nice thing about really good songs is you can often hear exactly how you want them to sound when they're finished as well. There are some songs that you write that you kind of like, where am I going to take this? Where's this going to go? How should this sound? What should the instrumentation be? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
With that one, I knew immediately that it should sound like it's ended up sounding. And in fact, that's the case with almost all the songs on Infinite Hotel. So maybe that tells me something, you know, that I was in a rich vein of form.
Yeah, I mean, and again, from a kind of production point of view, yeah, Rich Young's piano sits kind of nicely in my left ear. Yeah, that's that really adds to the atmosphere.
It's a massive, just incredible space on the album. The mix is glorious. Yeah.
And you got that in the car, and that's one of the things, that I jumped on straight away. Lost in the Cinema, that's another cracker. The acoustic guitar, that drives the early part is sometimes when you connect with a song, so it made me want to pick up the guitar and start twanging away, but my fingers are far too soft these days. And then you get to there's a long way to go in the tail chorus part, which when you're driving along kind of inspires you to kind of join in with the back and vocals. But again, that's guaranteed to ruin anything if it's me. But it's pretty cool to have, like, when you listen to something new and to have kind of an emotional attachment to it. Do you have any kind of studio memories of that song?
Well, that's funny enough. That's one I wrote a long time ago, and I've been wanting to nail it for a while. I'm really fond of the lyric. You know, it's about that situation where you're kind of on a first date for the first time, and just the nervousness you have in the cinema, and you think, am I going to put my arm around her or him? You know, am I going to, you know, how am I going to play this? And you're not really focusing on the film at all, because you're just thinking, all I want to do is give her a kiss, or, you know, and we've all had that moment, you know, and and the lights go down in the cinema and you can't focus at all. And I think, and I hope I captured that in the song. And so the song itself has been around for a while, and I just wanted to finally get it right. And on that song, Wayne and I thought it needed a much lighter touch, a much more hesitant, kind of vulnerable touch, because a lot of the album's very forthright and very strong and strident, but this one was much subtler. Even though Wayne's drums on it are just from another planet. I mean, they're just brilliant. If you listen to his tom fills on there, they're glorious, you know. So it took a bit of time, and we kept stripping it back and kept stripping it back. So it's one of the more bare bones ones on the album, but I think that's what it needed. You know, that's what it required.
Yeah. And Rise With You, that's another beautiful song. There's a wonderful chorus, with plenty of the sprinkle magic over it. I love the light electric guitar touches you get, and then in the second verse there's that kind of rainy keyboard bit going up.
Yes,
and down,
absolutely.
up and down.
Well, wanted it to be dreamy, wanted it to be dreamy, wanted it to be a little bit sexy, wanted it to be but also, you know, it wanted it to be a rock song, you know, and it breaks off into the solo in the second half, because, you know, you're kind of, the emotion and the passion is building up. It's building up. So and again, I think we captured it. I think I was really pleased. I mean, there's some beautiful piano on there from Bennett on that one, and I mean, that was a good example of one which we spent a lot of time over to get right. You know, it's one of the more produced ones. It's the opposite of Lost in the Cinema, that one. But I'd hate for anything to feel overproduced. You know, that's the other thing. It's always got to be about the song. So that song has to come first, and you've got to let the song breathe. Because if you choke the song, you've got nothing. And as a songwriter, you know, that's the cardinal sin for me.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's what I kind of talk about, sprinkling magic, because it all fits in well. But Rise With You, I mean, that's especially the way it kind of finishes in the last couple of minutes, with a cracking solo there. That's got to be a shoe-in for the live set.
Well, I'd hope so, but I mean, Ollie took that solo. I thought it was a waste to have someone as talented as Ollie just playing bass on the album. So, you know, I love to play the guitar, but I thought, you know, we've got to give Ollie a couple of solos. And oh my God, he took it to another level. I mean, he plays his socks off. It's an absolutely stunning solo he does. Yeah,
it's fantastic. It really fits in well. I also love Meet Me at Midnight. And I love the kind of relationship between the vocal and the chord sequences. So there's more beautiful piano in there. You know, I love you, you love me too lyric. And then kind of with about a minute and a half to go in the song, you really push your vocal there, don't you?
I do. And that's one of the moments that when I get, you know, hairs on the back of my neck when I listen to it, you know, it's a very it's a special thing to that. Of all the songs I've written, that's one of the ones which I think people have taken to the most. They find some of the lyric very moving, and it's, you know, it's a very special thing to write a song that moves people. You know, it's easy to write a terrible song, and it's fairly easy to write a half decent song, but it's very hard to write a song that people find fairly moving and profound. And I'm very lucky that, you know, some people have responded to that one like that. And that moment in the song, that is meant to be the emotional high point of the song. You know, it's a very sort of deep song, that one, and it's a very grown up song. It's a very mature song. So to hear it the way it's come out is incredibly yeah, I was happy with it. I was very happy with it. It feels epic, but
Mhm.
not in a kind of overblown way, I hope.
No, 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 definitely not, definitely not. And
Yeah.
I'm just picking some songs out here. Yeah, your
Mm,
Bulletproof Man finishes up the
go
album
for it.
really nicely. There's some beautiful subtle Bennett Holland keys in there.
Yeah, Bennett. Well, again, Bennett just is Bennett. I mean, he's an enormous talent, Bennett, and also, you know, just an absolutely smashing guy. And he, you know, the lovely thing about that caliber of musician who play on Infinite Hotel is that you don't have to tell them what to do.
Hmm.
You know, they're all so they're so musically intelligent and empathetic that they get the vibe instantly. And that's not always the case. You know, some people might think it's a given that a musician
Yep.
will know what to play on a song,
Oh,
but
yeah.
believe me, it's absolutely the opposite is true. So when you're playing with people like Bennett and Wayne and Ollie and Rich and Amy, they understand music, and they understand feel, and that's the most important
Yep.
thing. You
Yep.
have to have feel, and if my music lost feel, I'd have nothing, because that's very important to what I do as a songwriter. And Bulletproof Man, again, I think, you know, and Amy's beautiful violin in there as well, you know, and it's just it's collaborating with intelligent, passionate craftspeople, musical craftspeople. It's incredibly rewarding, and and that's what you get. You know, hopefully, if you put a decent song together with wonderful musicians,
Yep.
you get a good result. Hopefully.
Well, Bennett's great. I mean, I've seen him play live with Lawrence, yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean, he you know, he looks like a rocker, and you know, and
he
he's got
does.
he's got this fantastic keyboard there, you know, that just harks back
He's
to the
son.
'70s, you know.
I've played live with Bennett a few times, you know, and it's just fun. He makes it easy, you know. He's a great musician and a fabulous guy, and we've had a lot of fun together, you know. So
You mentioned violin, yeah. On Rise with You, there's a little bit of cello in there, is there?
is there cello on Rise with You? No, I don't think there is.
No, no, maybe,
It
maybe.
might be a synth.
Yeah, it's probably synth then. Yeah.
You've probably heard the album more recently than I have, so I might have to go back and listen to it. I don't think there's a cello on Rise with You, but there might be.
It might be synth, and it kind of fits in with the
Yeah, I think it's a synth.
the wavy.
I think it's Bennett or Rich. I'd have to check it out though.
Okay, Bulletproof Man, yeah, St. Peter and the Pearly Gates, yeah. But what's the idea behind the lyric on that?
Um, uh, Bulletproof Man is about really somebody who goes through life without ever really engaging emotionally with anything. It's about somebody who is neither affected by the things that go on around them nor affects the things that go on around them. It's about perhaps being emotionally isolated. And I just liked the idea of this chap turning up at the pearly gates and God saying, you've got some unfinished business. You know, you need to go back down there and you need to learn how to be more emotionally responsive and mature and intelligent. And you know, I hasten to add, you know, I'm not going to tell you which of my songs are autobiographical or not. You know, I'm perfectly capable of creating characters as well, but you know, and so I just, you know, the phrase "bulletproof man" seems. And if I did, you'd be one of the first people I'd share it with.
Excellent, fantastic. It's a great way to finish the album, actually, Bulletproof Man. You know, the whole album's not long enough to cover the whole drive from Norwich back to Hertfordshire. So I slapped it on again, actually. You know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
there are three other solo albums you could try as well. That might help.
Yeah, but I didn't have them in the car, so yeah. And then when you listen to it the second time, yeah, you're picking up little different bits of fairy dust.
Yeah, I hope
there's
so.
always, yeah, no, that's the way it came across to me. You've spoken about intimacy on the album and feelings of love, loss, and mortality and things like that. It's album release week, isn't it? You know, how you feeling
this
now?
Friday.
Yeah,
It's out this
how you
Friday.
feeling now?
Well, the reviews have been absolutely brilliant. I'm really, really encouraged by all the reviews, and some people are saying some lovely things about it. So it's hopefully it's connecting with some people, you know, and that's all I really want to do with my music. You know, I just want to make music that people enjoy and that I enjoy, and you know, I make music that I like and I enjoy, and I one of my imperatives is to make sure it's emotional. Because that's how I feel as a songwriter when I'm writing on my own. So to hear, you know, when you say that you felt it and other people say they feel it, that's exactly what I'm going for. So I'm feeling very positive about people enjoying the record. I mean, I don't know if, you know, I'm not expecting to be number one in any chart very soon, but you know, as long as some people get a hold of it and like it, that's fine for me, you know.
Cool. Future plans, when might we see you on the road? Or
well, I'm doing some solo shows. I'm playing Upton Blues Festival, I'm playing Barry's Blues Barn, I'm playing The Musician in Leicester. But it's a busy year with the Milkman as well. The Milkman are working on a new album as we speak. In fact, we're in the studio tonight, and you know, the Milkman's reputation has just been growing and growing, you know, the last couple of years, and our following has just grown tenfold in the last 2 years, which is really, really exciting. So we're doing our fourth album, which is going to be out the end of spring, beginning of summer, and we have a lot of festivals and shows lined up, and of course still playing with the Mustangs. You know, there's still some Mustang stuff, even though we're sort of stepping back a little bit because Derek is a little bit older than the rest of us, and virus and COVID and everything, you know, has made his position a bit uncertain. But we have got some shows in the diary, and we're looking forward to doing those as well. So I mean, this weekend it's the Swanage Blues Festival, so it'll be the Milkman on Friday and the Mustangs on Saturday. So that'd be good fun. That's always great.
Yeah, it must be great to get back out there again. Yeah, after last couple of years.
You've no idea. It's like being reborn. It really is. It's fantastic. So I mean, it's become an insanely busy year, actually. You know, there's a lot. It feels like a lot of stuff has been sort of, you know, held up, and now the gates are open and it's kind of all piled up and everything. But you know, it's the way I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I've also, I mean, I've got plans to do and this is an exclusive. I'm gonna sort of follow up Infinite Hotel reasonably quickly with another album I've already written. I'm gonna do an acoustic album. Of songs I've had knocking around for a while. So I might get that out end of this year, beginning of next year. Normally it's about, you know, two or 3 years between solo albums because there's so much going on. But I have these songs written and I don't think it'd be too hard to get them down. Famous last words.
Yeah, nice. So Infinite Hotel's out Friday. Certainly deserves to be heard. And any message for the fans?
Just, you know, please have a listen, check it out, listen to the solo stuff, listen to the Mustangs, listen to the Milkman, and come and see a show and come and say hi. And you know, I love meeting the fans, love people coming to the shows, and you know, just get out there and support live music, and have a great, safe year. God knows we all need a great, safe year. It's crazy times.
Absolutely. Crazy times. Adam Norsworthy, thank you so much.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks, Stevie. All right.
Come